There. So for my lesson plan, I decided to focus on first grade with the topic in science. So my benchmark was to use observations to describe patterns of what plants and animals, including humans, need to survive. Some indicators for this were examples of patterns could include that animals need to take in food, but plants do not, the different kinds of food needed by different types of animals, the requirements of plants to have light, and that all living things need water. So my ABCD content objective was that students will identify which living organisms need what to survive with 80% accuracy. So for this lesson plan, you should have the worksheet with different things, including living and non-living objects, one paper per student for the low group, one paper per student for the middle group, and one paper per student for the high group. There should also be a separate worksheet with a Venn diagram for food, water, and sunlight, and everyone will also get this paper. So the low group will have 5 objects to place correctly, the middle group will have 10 objects to place, and the high group will have 15 objects. So that is how their worksheets will differ. So to grab their students' attention, you'll start by asking all students to come to the carpet and ask various questions. Start by asking what people need in order to survive, and ask what plants and animals need, and get the conversation going about this topic and get the students interested in what you're going to be teaching. Then show the students a short video about all the needs of different organisms, such as what plants and animals need to survive. After the video is over, review what the video talked about. Talk about how animals need water and food, but don't need sun, plants need water and sun, but don't need food, and everything needs water to survive. For the procedures for this, we'll start with you bringing your students to the carpet and start with your opening, which was what I just listed above. Then, after you've watched the video on what different organisms need to survive, explain to them that the worksheet they will be doing and that each group is going to have a different worksheet, so you have to work with your group to complete it. Then you're going to split them up into 3 groups with students with similar learning abilities. A low group, a middle group, and a high group. Then you'll send each group to a different area or table in the classroom, hand out the group's worksheets. Each student will have a paper with different living and non-living things, and a Venn diagram for food, light, and water. Next, explain to them that they should first go through and circle all the living things. Next, they will cut out each living object and place them in the part of the Venn diagram that they belong. If the organism needs multiple things, such as an animal needs food and water, they will go in the middle bubble between the two, the big bubble for food and the big bubble for water. Make sure you explain that clearly because that could be tricky. Once all objects are placed, they will raise their hand and have the teacher come check. If there are any objects that are missing or any organisms that they missed, they should go back and fix them. And once they have all been checked right, they should color. Lastly, have them turn in the worksheet to the hand-in basket and have them put their scraps in the recycling bin. Some adaptations that you will need to use for this lesson plan would be to split your groups up using tiered content. Students with similar learning abilities should be grouped together so that they can complete the easiest worksheet for them. There should be a worksheet with 5 objects for lower students, 10 objects for middle, and 15 for the higher students. This will challenge your higher students, but not overwhelm your lower students as well. In closure, you will once everyone has finished the assignment, or the time is up for the lesson, explain what they have just learned. Tell the students that they just learned what organisms need what to survive, and that everything doesn't need the same things. Plants don't need food, but they do need water. People need sun, but people don't need sun, but they do need food and water, but all organisms need sun to survive. The assessment for this, you should check, when you're checking the students' work, before having them fix anything, record how many they got correct the first time. Students should be completing this assignment with 80% accuracy. And that will be the end of your lesson.